up for Natalie Miller. We love her. All right, Rules Mommy is gone. Fun Time Daddy's here. Popsicles for dinner. I'm a fun divorced parent. Some of you were like, that was too real. Already? Confessional? So you can probably hear from my accent that I am from New England. I have a distinctive Connecticut accent, which means that no matter what I say, it sounds condescending. Can you hear it? And if you don't know what I mean, then you probably went to a state school. So, I'm kidding. UConn has an excellent agriculture program. I think that I'm physically incapable of sounding sincere. It's a tonal issue. I was born this way, but the lacrosse didn't help. Let's be real. My least favorite ex-boyfriend is getting married at the end of the month. Congratulations, Susan and Brendan, real names. I wasn't invited, but I will be there. If my presence wasn't necessary, they would have password protected the wedding website. Or at least made the password harder to guess. I'm never gonna forget your dog's name. I love your dog. I still need a +1, if you can believe it. So if anyone wants to come to 26 Bridge in Brooklyn at the end of the month, I'll be standing outside in all white. Holding a knife like this. JK, I'm normal. Please like me. That's the subtext of every comedian's set. Please, I need this. I love being back in Vermont. I really vibe with the culture here. No, give it up for yourselves, because this is an amazing place and an amazing club, and not every weekend goes smoothly, trust me. A week before lockdown, I took a little trip, by which I mean I tried acid for the first time. And my big revelatory takeaway from doing acid is that I can never do acid again. It doesn't work with my brain. I don't know exactly why, but it just doesn't. At first, everything was normal. You know, you're watching YouTube videos, you're drooling a little bit. And then things took a dark turn. I started expressing thoughts that I didn't even know my brain could produce. At one point, I turned to my friend Kendall, who by this point was babysitting me, and said, "Good news, climate change isn't real." And that's why I can't do acid again. I took one dose of acid and became a climate change denier. It's not the hallucinogen for me. I can take a hint. At one point, I thought, oh, I'm really high. Oh, I know what'll calm me down, more drugs. So I turned to Kendall and I demanded that he order, and these were my exact words, a mountain of blow on Seamless. And he said, "Pamela, I've got bad news. You can't buy drugs on Seamless." And in my deluded state, I thought, but what if you could? Hi, sharks. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that was a rough night. I ended up naked, destroying my apartment. But the silver lining is that I'm now a budding entrepreneur. Huge for me, huge for me. I am bisexual, please remain seated. Stop mailing me GLAAD Media Awards. I'm not that brave. It's 2023, I think it's annoying at worst to be a white bisexual woman, because everyone has their own preconceptions about sexuality. Occasionally I'll encounter someone who's like, "Oh, I bet you've had a threesome because you're bisexual," which is ridiculous. I haven't had a threesome because I'm bisexual. I've had a threesome because I'm fun and people want to rail me. And thank you for laughing at that, because when people don't, it is devastating. I'm like, nothing? None of this is working for you? I do bravely date men, and I'm not into like a conventionally attractive guy with like a fit bod and like a symmetrical face. I like an interesting face and what is often a confusingly shaped body. Have you ever gotten someone naked and not known where to start? You're like seeing new shapes and stuff. You're like, oh, I didn't know a person could be a rhombus. That's very cool. I'm exclusively attracted to men who resemble respected character actors. Is that resonating? I know we're no longer in an industry city, but I need you to meet me halfway. And gentlemen, if you're under 5'8", legally, you are considered a character actor. You're on a SAG registry. You don't even know about it, honestly. It's not a bad thing at all. It's actually great. There's fun perks. You get a special little designation on your license. And then if a cop pulls you over and is like, what do I know you from? You get to be like, Monk. Or like whatever your thing is, right? So it's fun. Let me paint you a picture. Okay, here's some questions I ask myself in assembling my dream man. Okay, what if Willem Dafoe were pointier? Right? That guy's all angles. His face is a geometry proof. That I want to solve by sitting on it. What if... You guys are naughty. The 7 p.m. was much more restrained. Okay, let's get weird. Okay, what if Steve Buscemi had 3 weird eyes? You can't have too much of a good thing when it comes to Steve Buscemi's weird eyes. That's what my mom used to say. What if Danny DeVito... Change nothing, he's perfect, no notes. No notes for Mr. DeVito. He's proved to me that we are all made in God's image. Like, I like that he looks like someone scooped a ball of mozzarella and then threw steel wool shavings at it. And where they landed, they stayed. Because God doesn't make mistakes. I am trying to be more body positive in 2023. That's one of my goals, which is why I wore a loose monochromatic outfit. It's a work in progress, okay? I'm trying to be more body positive, but it is tough because I do consider having a body to be a fundamental indignity. It's a humiliation, and I never asked for this, okay? I just don't, I think it's because I grew up in the early 2000s where everyone was like skeletally thin or trying to get or stay that way. You'd open up like a women's magazine, it'd open up Cosmo Girl, now defunct. Remember print media? Okay. You'd open up, Cosmo Girl, and there'd be these quizzes that were like, ladies, what's your body type? And then if you take it, like every answer at the end, except for like perfectly fuckable hourglass, was like, oh wow, you're garbage can shaped. Yeah, accessorize with the lid, ladies, because you're trash. That's how I found out I am pear-shaped, or as I prefer to call it, Renaissance nude. Oh, some of us have seen a painting, and I went to one museum in Florence and was like, who leaked my nudes? This is crazy. So for me, the advice would be like, oh, have you considered balancing your proportions with the blazer? Or just killing yourself? And I'd be like, how does Teen Vogue know so much about me? That's eerie. My natural body type does put me at an especially high risk of being recruited to do burlesque. And if you don't know what burlesque is, I'll explain it because it's part of the bit. Burlesque, if you're not familiar, it's when former theater kids... Don't feel attacked, stay with me. It's when former theater kids kind of like shimmy around in fishnets. And I have to be like, yay, it's art. Is it feminist? Is it not feminist? I'm confused. I like won't even go see burlesque in Brooklyn anymore. I'm like terrified they're gonna spot me in the audience and be like, cut the Lizzo song. Bitch, get your pear-shaped ass up here. Come shimmy around with a feather boa. I won't do it because I'm scared I'm gonna overshadow everyone. Yeah. Talent. No, this is how I embarrass myself. This is my garbage art that I chose. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. I am on a fitness journey. I lost some weight during the pandemic and gained it back. Pretend I didn't for purposes of this bit. Pretend I'm still really hot. So I got a trainer, which is normal, or as I call her, a body therapist, because I hate being reminded that I'm exercising. So I use coded language. I got a therapist. I got a trainer so that the hottest woman I've ever seen will scream at me so I'll move around. I pay her hundreds of dollars, and she's made me cry twice. I recommend, she's amazing. I am now too confident. Like, I was too confident before I got into better shape. Now that I'm a white woman with an average body mass index, I'm a monster. I'm a full sociopath. And I know that because the other day, I was walking down Jefferson in Brooklyn, and a man motioned to me that my breast had fallen out. And I looked down, and my breast had in fact fallen out. And all I decided to say in response was, "You're welcome," and kept walking. I'm an empowered woman, but I'm sorry, that's a diagnosable response. That's dangerously empowered. I'm hoping they'll name a delusion disorder after me, put it in the DSM-6. That could be a good addition. That could be a good addition. Is anyone else here clinically insane? No. Are there anyone on Lexapro in the house? Where are my Lexies? Where are my Lex heads? Where are my Lexinators? I know it's tough because we're sleepy, right? We're lethargic, we're drooling a little bit. Part of my fitness plan is going to Dunkin' Donuts every day. I just love it, you know, because you know what they say, you can take the girl out of Boston, but you can't give her better taste in coffee. You can't. Dunks is a sacred place to me. So, and the other thing I picked up in Boston was rage. Just to set the scene. So one day, I go to my normal Dunks, okay? I'm standing in line with everybody else, honoring the social contract I thought we all signed. And then a woman came in and cut right in front of me in line. And she was on the phone, she had her headphones in. She had the phone in her back pocket. And instead of addressing the issue like a normal adult human, I just hung up the phone call she was on. Boop. And then I realized I'm the only person behind her in line. So I had to jete out of line and pretend I hadn't been there at all because I was too busy staring transfixed at the Dunkin' wall art. And if you've been inside a Dunkin', and I hope to God you have, you know the Dunkin' wall art is just advertisements for Dunkin'. So now I have to stare at a 6-foot-tall culotta, like I'm in the Louvre. I'm like, no, I see the Warholian reference here. It's clearly subversive, anti-consumerist propaganda. All right, I'm excited to bring out your headliner. He's the best.